And we welcome everybody into this week's edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly. I'm your host, Jason Ross. Marshall Spurbeck will join me in a moment, talk about a tough week last week. We'll look ahead to the NAU game, but we're going to start things out with the Media Relations Director for Sacramento State, and that is Brian Berger joining me on the set. And Brian, first of all, thank you for joining me today.
Glad to be here.
Well, it's always a busy time for you and the Hornet program because we're talking football, but you've got Hornet sports all year long. And for those that can visit hornetsports.com, what are some of the things that you and your staff can treat people to basically when they go to the website?
You know, the site is basically a one-stop place to find everything about Sacramento State sports. We've got 20 intercollegiate sports here on campus, and it's where you can find all the game recaps, stats, photo galleries, occasional videos here and there. But it's really a spot if you're a true fan of Sacramento State where you can go and get everything in one place. And
again, that's hornetsports.com. But take us through just football specifically. Maybe if we can backtrack to week one after the huge win over Oregon State, how busy was your job that week?
It was pretty crazy. Those games going in are always a little busier to begin with just because the teams we're playing against, when we play a team from the Pac-12 or a bigger conference, have a more demand for their local media. But then afterwards, as soon as really Brandon caught the winning two-point conversion, my phone honestly started ringing. I was out of battery by the time we got back to the airport. I had calls from national media right off the bat. The team was on ESPN. We get back to campus. There's 2 TV crews here. We had crews coming out for the Sunday practice. It was by far the busiest probably 48 hours I've had, and I've been here 12 years.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a great win. And then I know busy weeks come all season, but Causeway in a few weeks also be probably a crazy time too.
Causeway is just so different from any other week that we have just because of the local interest really picks up with the 2 teams and then the alumni and the fan support. And that's a fun week, but obviously it's a different challenge from what we're normally used to.
Well, again, hornetsports.com for the fans to check it out. And Brian, I thank you for all the help you give us for the radio broadcast. I know it's always busy, and you do a good job putting up with us.
No problem. Yeah, you guys are fun to work with.
All right, that's Brian Berger. We'll go ahead and take the break. When we come back, Marshall Spurbeck. He will join us as we'll look ahead to the NAU game, but certainly look back at Eastern Washington. That is straight ahead.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 4.25%, APR 4.4. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. Rates change overnight, so don't be paralyzed by the negative housing stories. The reality is, there may never be a better time to lock in your rate of a lifetime. We can close your loan in as little as 10 days, and there's never any upfront costs. Because we're a direct lender, and we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
Back here now, joined for the first time today by the head coach, Marshall Spurbeck. And Coach, there are great weeks, there are bad weeks, and then there are tough weeks. I would have to imagine this one has to fall in that latter category because you guys did a lot of good things, but ultimately a really tough loss for the Hornets.
Yeah, it was. You know, it was a well-played game by both teams, and like I told our players the other day, we played good for 75% of the game, and the fourth quarter we had some misfortune, and Eastern Washington got hot at the end of the game, and unfortunate for us because I thought our kids played well enough to win, and it just didn't work out in our favor that night.
Yeah, and that's the ultimate measurement. We all know it's wins and losses, but is any part of a coach in you where there were built-in excuses that I know you wouldn't use, but you guys really played well? At what point can you take the good out of the game and go forward with that?
Well, I think you always look at the good. You evaluate yourself and you say that we did these things right and these things we need to improve on. And, all we can do is go back to practice this week and try to improve upon the things that we didn't do well. And our kids are good that way. They understand. The bottom line in this is winning, and we have to be able to do the things that allow us to win better.
Yeah, well, we've got some footage from really an amazing game for the Hornets. Unfortunately, a tough loss in overtime. So let's start with some of that footage. Maybe the first thing we could comment on, the pink socks. Were you wearing the pink, Coach?
You know what? I didn't have my pink on that night, but the players had come to me earlier in the week, and they brought up a good point about this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we also are involved as a team with the Komen Cure run that takes place at Cal Expo. We do volunteer work over there in the spring, so it was a good opportunity for us to get out and represent. As you know, all of us have been hit by cancer in some fashion, so it was good for us to represent that night.
Well, that first play was Brian Hilliard, a nice run for him. He seemed a little banged up. That seemed to be a theme, obviously, for those that followed the game. You didn't have your starting quarterback, so you did something very unique. You play two and you almost shuffle from down to down. We had joked on the radio that usually you bring in the play, but the quarterback was also kind of bringing in the play. It was really a unique situation on Saturday.
Yeah, it was, and I've never done that before, but it was kind of fun for me to have the opportunity to work with both those young men. They both have a different skill set, and I think we were able to take advantage of both of them that night.
Well, one of those skill sets was very apparent with Garrett Saffron, your redshirt freshman. 100-yard rushing day for him. Here's a fourth down. You go to the freshman. How about this play, Coach, that works for TD?
Yeah, he's elusive, and he did that all night. I mean, I think he ran, like you said, for 100 yards, and he's a competitor that really likes to get out there and play, whether it's playing in the Hornet Olympics or basketball, baseball, it doesn't matter. He'll get out there and compete, and he did that night.
Well, Eastern certainly thought to stuff the run, whether it's Hilliard, McCowan, Jake, or Saffron. You have Tommy Edwards in. They're just biting all game long. Then you go deep on this play here to Brandon Reed, which the whole stadium could see was wide open.
Yeah, I think this was one of Brandon's first plays in the game, and he's been injured a little bit. He comes in and does a nice job of getting vertical there, and Tommy lays up a nice pass. He read the safety well and got the ball the outside versus cover 2.
All right, so then defense also were making some plays. You guys had 13 points, held Eastern to 13 going into the fourth quarter. I think the next highlight we have is of Todd Davis. Bo Levi Mitchell, very good quarterback. He throws, and Todd stays aggressive, kind of stays in this play to steal this interception.
Yeah, this is a nice play by our defense. Todd staying with the ball makes a nice play. Bo Levi Mitchell hasn't thrown an interception the last 2 weeks, so we were fortunate to get a turnover there, and we beat him up pretty good. We hit him a bunch, and he didn't turn it over, but I thought we did a good job of getting after him all night.
And you mentioned getting to him. You got to him. You're with your smallest defensive guy, Evander Wilkins. We got a highlight of Evander basically with one of the bigger hits. I mean, he gets right here to the quarterback and has some help from Zach Nash.
Yeah, nice job up front. We bring Evander off the edge there, and he's quick. And if you don't get him the first time, he's going to get by you, and he did a nice job.
All right, so you're battling the entire fourth quarter. You take the lead again, kind of reestablish it. Eastern scores late. I believe there's less than 30 seconds to go. You run this incredible draw play to Sam McCowan, who set you up for a chance to win it. I don't know how Sam stays on his feet on this run.
Yeah, when we made that, we let the clock go down. You're kind of in that no man's land of, do you want to run out the clock or do you want to run a play? And we decided to run something safe, and Sam turns it into a heck of a play and gives us an opportunity to win it at the end of the game with the field goal. Yeah,
and unfortunately, we all saw, and so many people were pulling for Deniz. I know it's something that you guys work on, he works on. He's had some misses, and this one was an opportunity for the win. Hit it great. It just pushed right, and that was certainly a tough situation for him and for your team.
Yeah, it was. Everybody's pulling for Jason. He's gone through some tough times with the field goals, but he's going to bounce back. He's a good kicker, and he's just got to get through this slump right now.
Yeah, and hopefully that's something that he'll be able to learn from and grow as the season went on, goes on, and then you get to OT, an opportunity there, and unfortunately your offense was rolling all night long, and just seemed like you kind of ran out of gas defensively, maybe offensively too.
Well, it's ebb and flow, and we had our moments early on, and like you said, at the end, we weren't able to finish, and that's what it kind of comes down to.
Well, it's a learning process, obviously, for the team. We'll see what they can do going forward. Speaking of us going forward, we'll do that with the Player of the Week, Tommy Edwards. He will join us next.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Back here with our Paramount Equity Mortgage Player of the Week. I'm Jason Ross. We got the head coach Marshall Spurbeck and quarterback Tommy Edwards joining us here on set. Tommy, congratulations on your effort and being our Player of the Week.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, we appreciate having you here, and we get our Hornet fans to learn a little bit more about you because a lot of them go to the game. They're not sure what to expect, and there you are in the game. How about from your perspective, getting reps right off the top? How prepared were you for Saturday's game?
Yeah, it was a really exciting week. I think I did pretty well preparing myself. We had a pretty good game plan going into it. I was getting a good amount of reps in practice, so I thought I had a good feeling for the game plan.
I'd say so. 18 of 26, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns. Coach, how did Tommy do?
Did very well. I mean, I thought him and Garrett both came out and did a nice job of managing the game and no turnovers, and those are things that we really stressed during the week, and I thought both of them did a nice job.
So, Tommy, you came from Citadel, played a little there, transferred to Sacramento, coming back to California.
Yeah.
How much did that college experience at Citadel help you in Saturday's game?
It was a big experience, especially playing as a true freshman, kind of just getting that experience under my belt and playing at a collegiate level definitely helped me on Saturday.
So for you, what was the draw to come back to California to Sacramento State?
When I came on my visit here, I really liked the coaches. I really liked the players that I met with. The campus seemed like I would fit in great, and ever since I've been here, I've had a good time.
And a communications major?
Yes.
All right, so third-year sophomore, and hopefully many more productive years for you going forward. We've got some footage from the game Saturday, Coach. I want you to look at this too. And Tommy, as you got to go in early, and decisions you have to make quickly. As Garrett seemed to run a little more, you had opportunities to pass. Here's one where he kind of looks like a checkoff route, maybe throwing underneath here to Jake.
Yeah, the defense kind of just flew out of there, and coaches always told me if they do that, just take your check down, and it was successful, and that's what we got there.
You know, when you evaluate the game film too, Coach, I mean, how did the quarterbacks grade out?
Well, we don't really grade them. We kind of go through each play and evaluate and try to take the 5 or 10 plays that we didn't do well and try to go back and correct them. But overall, I thought both their performances were very good, like I said earlier. I think the thing Tommy did nice is he made good decisions. He did run the ball when he had to. He checked down when he had to, and he put himself and put our team in good situations.
And you aired it out as well. Here we've got a touchdown to Brandon Reed. This one was beautiful. And how'd it feel? First Hornet touchdown?
It was awesome. I think I was chasing the whole way down the field. We kind of got the defense we were looking for. Brandon ran a great route. Our offensive line protected us, and that's what happened.
Yeah, we've got some more footage of you throwing here too. Here's to Morris Norris. And the good thing about coming in when Fleming's the starter, you're always ready, but you've got a lot of weapons on that offense, don't you?
Definitely. There's guys making plays all over the field. Offensive line did a great job protecting. I don't think we had a sack.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun being out there with those guys.
Well, let's see that highlight with Morris Norris, because here's one of those weapons that you can go to. He had a big day as well, and it just looks like you're comfortable out there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty simple route, and Mo just turns it into a big gain. It's not much you can ask for from your receivers.
And then, you want guys to run after the catch. And our last one is your second touchdown. This one is late. So now they've tied you guys. You got to go down and reestablish the lead. You do here in fourth quarter. It's a great drive. And this one's, I think, Mayseal that you find, and he does a good job of getting in the end zone.
Yeah, he did a great job. The ball's a little low. He did a great job of adjusting to it and just getting into the end zone when he caught it.
Yeah, so, Coach, when you find out Fleming's going to be out, you get these guys ready. I mean, could it have gone better between Tommy and Garrett for you at the quarterback position?
I don't think so. I mean, I thought they played as well as they can for their first start, and they had 2 weeks to prepare, which helped us. And I think the main thing is they both played within their role, and they both understand who they are as quarterbacks and what they do well. And fortunately for us, we were able to take advantage of both their strong points. And
finally for you, Tommy, what does that do for your confidence going forward?
It's big. Yeah, absolutely. Going into this next week, I'm not sure who's going to be playing, but I'm going to be prepared, and definitely this last week is going to give me some confidence going into this next opponent.
Yeah. And if it's not Jeff, Tommy will be ready. Garrett will be. I mean, for the coach, that's got to excite you.
Yeah, and I told these guys on Thursday we're going to flip a coin to decide who starts, and that's what I did. And heck, we might have to flip it again this week. But either way, they're both going to play, and like I said, Jeff may be in the mix too, and we'll have a 3-headed quarterback.
There you go. All right, Tommy, congratulations and great performance.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, that's Tommy Edwards. We've got more of the show coming up right after this.
If you're a homeowner searching for a way to reduce your monthly payments, think about this. Mortgage rates are near the lowest level in 6 decades, as low as 4.25%, APR 4.4%. But how long will today's rates just sit there? I'm Hayes Barnard, owner of Paramount Equity. Rates change overnight, so don't be paralyzed by the negative housing stories. The reality is, there may never be a better time to lock in your rate of a lifetime. We can close your loan in as little as 10 days, and there's never any upfront costs. Because we're a direct lender, and we can bypass a lot of the big banks' red tape. Even better, if rates were to drop for any reason, we'll protect you with a free rate warranty. So give us a call. The savings is all yours. All you pay is less for your mortgage. No matter how long you've been in your home, I'm almost sure we can cut that biggest bill by 15%, maybe more.
5 minutes could save you thousands. Call right now, 1-800-747-1800.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
And it's that time to look ahead to the next game for the Hornets. That's this weekend at home against Northern Arizona. Back here again with the coach, Marshall Spurbeck. And Coach, one thing I think you have to be proud of is the fact that, okay, your team has had some setbacks during the season, but the bounce back ability. It seems like your group has always been resilient, gone forward, and put the tough games behind them.
Yeah, there's no other choice. I mean, you can go one of two directions, and our team has, going back to last year, has always done a good job of being resilient and bouncing back and getting on track, and I really fully expect us to do that again this week.
All right, so you were a little banged up last week, obviously. Any update you can tell us at least going forward with the potential of your quarterback situation?
Well, we expect Jeff Fleming to be back this week. We'll take it one day at a time. He did practice at the end of last week a little bit and was feeling better, so we're optimistic.
And also, though, if he can't, you have to be pleased with him. The two quarterbacks were great last week.
Shoot, we might just throw him into the two-man rotation, and we'll be going with three guys next week. You never know. So we'll see how that all shakes out.
Play by play.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's look at Northern Arizona, your next opponent. Certainly a team in the Big Sky that has had their ups and downs as well. We've got some footage of them. And, they got different guys that can get after the quarterback as well. That's Isaac Bond going against a Pac-12 Arizona team that's kind of like their Zach Nash.
Yeah, absolutely. He's, in fact, leading the conference in sacks right now. And last year he had a very good season as well and was named for some preseason accolades. So he's a very good player.
All right, let's look at their offense as they've got a quarterback as well. Any similarities you see from Kerry Grosser to any other quarterback in the league?
You know what? I see him similar to the Bo Levi Mitchell kid that we saw last week versus Eastern Washington. He's very accurate. He has some good escapabilities, quick enough in the pocket to avoid the rush, and he's efficient. I think he's leading the conference right now in efficiency.
Well, there was one touchdown we saw from him. We've got another look at him. This is against Montana State, the best team in the conference, and guys making the defenders miss. I mean, this is a great busted play after the end here. So, again, your defense, every week basically it gets called on to play big.
The whole team does.
Yeah.
As you go through our season, the competition between each team is so close, and it comes down to a couple plays either way. And I see this game being another game like that.
Yeah, and we've got one look at their running game as well. Zach Bowman here gets loose against Idaho State, a long run, gets past that first group, and then he's set free there. So, again, challenges all over the field like we mentioned. And I think the one thing you've got to appreciate, obviously, is that you're back at home. It was another great crowd this last week, and hopefully a great crowd coming up. And it just really seems like it has rallied your team.
Yeah, it was a nice crowd. It was a good night, and like I said, all the way up until that last point, it was a good evening for the Hornets. And something that we'll really emphasize this week is cleaning up those details and finishing strong.
And that's something hopefully you guys will be able to do. We've got more with the coach coming up. We'll learn more about the golf program at Sacramento State. We'll do that coming up next.
Going to Sac State has meant a lot to me. As a government major, I've had so many opportunities.
I'm the first in my family to go to college, so I'm kind of testing the waters.
Sac State is better for my education because I get a well-rounded education, as opposed to just going to a trade school where I just learned that trade.
I think that it'll help in getting a career and getting my life started.
The campus itself I just think is gorgeous. All the trees.
I feel really fortunate to be here during a time of so much growth.
It has grown so much as a destination campus.
All my friends are here. The atmosphere is awesome.
I like that I'm right at school and I don't have to walk really far.
Good sports teams.
Yeah, good sports teams.
I like the opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities here.
I'd be happy knowing that I graduated from Sac State.
Well, I've chosen Sac State.
You know, Sac State, and they just give you a lot of love. They show you a lot of love.
Do you want inside access to the NFL? Xfinity gets you closer to the game with a front row seat to everything NFL. Get in-depth 24/7 coverage all season long on NFL Network. With Xfinity, the best seat in the house is in your house. Get NFL Network's 24/7 coverage of all 32 teams, plus game recaps on demand when you upgrade to Digital Preferred TV for just $9.99 more a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
And this week, our Hornet Spotlight is with the golf team, and that means we bring in David Sutherland, the coach of both the men's and women's, former PGA Tour professional, now with the Hornet program. 5 years for you now. This has gone fast, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and it's been a nice transition. I played 20 years professionally, and then it's allowed me to do what I want to do when I stopped playing, which was get back into mentoring kids, and I got a lot of the Sacramento golf community. I had a chance to get back to it, but it's gone by really fast, and it's so much fun. I mean, it's a great career being around young student athletes. In golf, it's a small sport. We travel sometimes only 5 or 6 kids, and so a lot of these kids become sons and daughters in a lot of ways to you, and it's been a really fun experience. And then particularly also with the growth and the building of the programs and getting them to being Division I programs that are winning tournaments and competing and nationally against some of the best teams in the nation. That's been a real fun challenge.
Yeah. Well, tell us about that challenge. I mean, for you, coaching 2 teams, 2 different styles, a little bit, in the men and the women. And the men have done some amazing things with what seems to be a team that can really excel.
Yes, right. And on the men's program, the addition last year of Chris Hall from Fresno State, allowing, and he's focusing now on the men. He's been a great addition. When I was coaching both of them at the same time, it was difficult. If you're traveling with one team, that you weren't able to really coach the other team. Our men's program is fantastic right now. I mean, we are, I feel, the most talented team in the western part of the United States. When we play well, we had Jake Johnson, who shot 60 in the state fair. Grant Rampley won the state fair the previous year. Jake's won twice as a collegiate player. Cameron Rampley, a senior, won at Utah. Our team won at Utah this year. Just last week, we were tied with Arizona State going to the last round. They're one of the great Division I men's golf programs of all time. I think that they are capable, and I know they feel the same way, of not just winning the conference and going to NCAAs, but making a real dent in the NCAA tournament. We have the talent to go out and compete with just about anybody.
Yeah.
And it's been fun, the process of seeing these kids come in as freshmen and then grow to being such great players now as seniors has been one of the most satisfying professional aspects of my life.
Well, and I know the challenge of having the staggered seasons, kind of getting it going again. Women are still going. I know they're heading to Hawaii soon, so we wish them the best of luck. And the challenge for you, you're going to have to help me with my game. I need help.
Yeah, well, maybe you can help me with my basketball game.
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see how it goes. But make sure you check out David Sutherland and the golf team. They got things going, and there's a lot of good things going right now on the Hornet campus. We'll come back, wrap things up with Marshall Spurbeck. That is next.
Leadership begins here. Not everyone ends up on top. You've got to work hard and be smart about your next move. So, what does it take to be the best? At Sacramento State, it's about academic excellence. Football players who know what it means to give everything to be the best. New high-tech, state-of-the-art facilities. A solid university-wide commitment to being a new powerhouse. We're taking it to the next level and beyond. State-of-the-art training facilities and campus amenities, respected and effective educators, and the passion to develop leaders rivaling any NCAA FCS school anywhere. This is how it's done when you're serious about winning. We are ready for whatever's next with opponents like Stanford, Colorado, Oregon State, Washington, and Arizona State. The challenge is immediate and it's real. At Sacramento State, there's a lot to be proud of. And now, we're taking it to the next level. Sacramento State. Leadership begins here.
Inside the pole. 8 minutes to go in the quarter. 382. And they need to score on this.
All right, time to wrap this show up as we bring Marshall Spurbeck back in again. Thanks to all our guests today. Of course, we had Brian Berger, David Sutherland, Tommy Edwards, and the coach. And Coach, last game, one of the things I noticed, there were a ton of hopefully future Hornets out there. How's the recruiting going?
It's going well. You know, we had about 60 or 70 guys out there that they come in for the pregame, they watch us warm up, I address the group, they have their parents with them, and it's a good opportunity for them to see the campus and see how we go about things on game day. So it was a good group of kids.
And between all the facilities, that are new, the game day experience, you got something to show them.
Definitely, and with 10, 12,000 people at the game, and I think we're doing a nice job with our tailgating, and they walk around, they see the well, they see the Broad Center. It's a good opportunity.
So would that be similar this weekend too? Will there be a lot more recruits you'll bring in for NAU?
Yeah, every home game we try to bring in anywhere from 60 to 100 guys.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a great opportunity, and really an opportunity now for your season. 4 games left, 3 of the 4 at home. Could be a strong finish here for the Hornets.
I'm excited about it. I think it's an opportunity for us to get back on track this week and keep playing good football and finish up this season strong.
Yeah. All right, Coach, thanks, and good luck this weekend.
Yep.
All right, there he is, Marshall Spurbeck. And it's going to be a good day for the Hornets. Let's hope this weekend when they battle NAU. Come on out for the next home game Saturday at 6:05. Join us next week for another edition of Xfinity Hornet Football Weekly.